Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is a Type 95G Row. It's a Tier 6 Japanese tank destroyer. It's located on the southwest spawn of Arctic region under the command of Alephus. Game on! Well, this tank destroyer can have two different guns, either a 75mm or a 105mm. That is very definitely the 105mm, capable of 300 alpha, penetrating 175mm with standard AP, and with the premium AP he can do 220mm, and he's got HE rounds as well, capable of 445mm of pen. Now he's knocking the trees down here to provide himself with a nice bit of cover against the enemy tanks that are going to be coming down the south road. Actually does work quite well, knocking those trees down. Obviously there's bound to be somebody in this position, but just in case the enemy does turn up in this direction, just fall back a little and that can provide you with enough cover to avoid them. Okay, we've got a VK3601H spotted. Our tanks are moving to engage them. I think that Tiger 131's already taken a bit of a hit. Oh, M6. Ah, lovely. Okay, so we got a good hit. Now the shell velocity is rather slow. It's only 850 meters per second. So you've got to treat it as, the shell's going to go up and come down on the target. And the target might have moved by the time the shell reaches them. Okay, VK has gone behind the rock. And unfortunately that one dips into the rock. So no joy there. Standard reload is 8.63 seconds. And the Alephus has got 7.47. So he has actually improved on that time. We now know there's a number of tanks down there, including a Cromwell, trying to get through from the bunker. Our Tiger 131 has taken quite a bit of a hit. So he's actually low on hit points now. He's getting hit by the Cromwell from behind, and the guys who are actually down there, the far end, the M6 and the other enemy tanks. Okay, KV2. Ow, we just lost the Tiger 131, but the KV2 takes a hit. It's a low roll 287. Spot the VK again. This tank destroyer actually did exist in designs, wasn't actually put into production. As we know, the Hori one, oh, got a hit there. Strip 74 took a high roll for 301. Yes, the Honi one rather, and the Honi 2, and the Honi 3, which is actually in the game, all existed. They were actual tank destroyers built by the Japanese, but some of the other ones they've shown and put into the game didn't actually exist. They weren't manufactured, but they were designs. The VK takes a hit and it's 307, and he goes out of the game with the next shot. Even with a blind shot he knew that, and he's being pushed out by the tank that's directly behind him, and he hit whoever that was, probably the KV2, and that Strip 74 is really cheeky, and he pays for it by being taken out of the game. Only got 91 hit points out of him, but that's all he needed to take him out. Now it's actually quite a powerful gun for a tank destroyer, but there are other tanks which do have more powerful ones at this tier. Obviously the SU-100 can have the 122mm gun as its main armament. In actual fact, most SU-100s only carried a 100mm gun. And of course the SU-85 at tier 5 had an 85mm gun. So we got another pen on the KV2, but it's a low roll 297, waiting for the guy to poke his nose out. Oh, now that's the Tiger 131 on the enemy team. Now he hit the armor, but the angle was wrong. And as long as you're angling a Tiger like that, you actually increases the armor, makes it more difficult to pen. That Cromwell's still there as well, being a bit of a nuisance. Okay, there's the M6. Okay, he's being cheeky to pop up. I noticed that Alephus is actually having a quick look occasionally to one side. So he knows that Cromwell's behind the bunker. Oh, that one did literally ricochet off the side of the KV2's turret. And oh my god, he's actually using the stock gun. Or not the stock gun, he's using the... that looks to be the 107mm. So he hasn't got the derp gun. In fact, it looks like it could be a bit of a novice. A low roll there, 289. Maybe he hasn't been able to upgrade it yet. It's not the stock turret, it's definitely the top turret. And the KV2 goes down, taken out by our FB304. Okay, enemy tanks are now coming in from the north. And this is where it's really handy having that tree knocked down, because we can hide in the tree to a certain extent. Okay, the enemy G-Road just died. Our KV2 derped him. And now we've got the M6 popping up. Oh, bit of a snap. Not to worry. He's only got 59 hit points left, and now he's going to die. Yeah, beautiful shot into the engine bay. No problem at all. Straight through his armor, and he's out the game. That's the third kill for Alephus. Oh no, this is bad news. The Cromwell actually came in via the gully. So he must have snuck back and gone around and come in from the north. He must have recognized that we had a problem. And Alephus is finding it difficult trying to find the ability to back up so he can use the bush mechanic. There are still enemies to his right. There's a Tiger 131 down there. He's going to deal with that guy first. And he gets one into the engine bay. Makes the guy a one shot if he can get a standard roll. And he does. That's his fourth kill. AMX 12 ton hiding behind a rock a little further up. We can't see him. And the Cromwell, well, he's in that dip, so in the gully. So we're going to have to get closer if we want to get him. But there's no threat to our right as far as I can tell at the moment. And we've got the Dickomax and the Wizzy 131G above the gully. There's the Cromwell. We've just lost our Striv 74 taken out by the enemy SU-8. Oh, P43 Biz. And we pump one round in on auto aim. Oh, we've just taken a round from the T78, and there's the 12 ton. He goes down. Now we've got to avoid taking a 90mm round from that T78. He managed to hit our tracks, luckily enough, but that 90mm is deadly. And unfortunately, our Dickomax goes down to the enemy Arty. Okay, can we get a shot on this T78? He's looking at us. Ow! Yeah, we just took a high roll from his 90mm, but he'll go out the game. Yep, got him. That's a Top Gun. Okay, so we're turning around. Our engine went down, so he's used his repair kit to fix that. Okay, there's the P43. Can't get the gun down. Oh, and we just lost the Wizzy 131G again to the enemy Arty. That AMX 13 F3 is very good. He knew exactly what he's doing. He's taken out two enemy of our tanks, the Dickomax and the Wizzy 131. So obviously he was using the spotting that he was getting from the P43 Biz. We can see where one of the enemy RTs was located. He was actually down in the south of the pass at grid square E0. Now I think Alephus is being cautious here because he's worried that the P43 Biz is going to come in from the north, but the SU-8's a little further forward than I would like. But it's 3 on 3. The enemy team's got two RTs, we've only got the one. The FB304 did get wiped out. We've only got the SU-8, but I think we've got the advantage because we've got a KV2. And Alephus, I think he's going defensive. He's saying, okay, if they're going to come in from the north, I'm going to be hidden in the trees. So as soon as they get close to the cap, I'll nuke them. We've got just under 6 minutes left. I mean, it's the correct strategy. And the P43 Biz is not going to come down the gully because the KV2 will see him. And he's more likely going to go up and around the rock and come in on this side of the rock, because he probably thinks that the Giro is actually down in the south. And the SU-8, I think he's going to go... It looks to me like he's gone Rambo. He's going to decide to try and spot for us. Yep, I think he's decided that he's going to use his W key like most Arty players do know how to do. Yes, it's a scandalous lie that put out by the tanking players that Arty don't know how to play. They don't know where their W key is. Of course we do. We use them all the time. We not only relocate to new positions, but sometimes when necessary, Arty will try and win the game. And you can see that the enemy Arty are actually trying to counter battery fire his position, or where he was. He's not there anymore. Now, I don't think they know that Alephus is here, even though this tree's been knocked down. And we haven't been spotted. I think that P43 Beers has actually fallen back to his own cap area. And we're getting shots landing amongst the trees to our right. So it looks to me like the enemy Arty have decided that the Giro, or Alephus, is actually somewhere in grid square H4. And he's still in the position he was when he killed a T-78. So Alephus is crawling forward, only at 24 kilometers an hour. He can do 50. Sorry, 50. 40 is the maximum speed. Sorry. He's being cautious because if that P43 is out there, the P43 Biz can have a 90mm gun, can do 240 damage very, very quickly. And we don't really want to get hit by one of those because 2 shots we'd be out the game. The KV2 though, he's also fairly low on hit points. The enemy's got more hit points than we have, but I guess that's down to the fact that there's 2 Artys on the enemy team, and they're probably both full health. Okay, he's decided the P43 isn't here. If the sixth sense goes off, we'll know we've been spotted. Alephus is going to try and go out this route. The SU-8's gone the ice road, or the south road. The KV2 is still in his position, watching over the cap. I guess he's going to wait to see if we get spotted at all. Alephus has got to thread his way through these trees without knocking them down, because that would give away his position. And he doesn't want to be exactly out in the open, so he's still going between the trees. Okay, there's the gully. Is he there? No, he's not. Okay, so he's probably returned to the enemy cap area. Two minutes left on the game. We're about to get the buzzer for the 2-minute warning. There it is. Okay, they need to speed this up now. The SU-8 ought to go up the south route. If we do see the enemy vehicles there, the KV2's going to have to try and deal with them. We're well ahead of the KV2. He could have, in fact he is now making a move, so he's going to go up the middle route. We're going the top route round the back, and the SU-8's going up the standard route straight towards the enemy. And there's the SU-8. Oh, lovely shot, right in the side, bullseye. So now he's got 7 kills, 1 short of getting a Radley's. But we're running desperately short on time. You need to drive directly to the enemy cap now. Straight at it. Don't hold back. Don't be cautious. We just haven't got enough time. We need to get the kills. Got 2 tanks to kill and only 1 minute to do it in. The KV2's getting closer, but he's just not fast enough. And the SU-8 is doing his best. Now hopefully he might distract one of the enemy vehicles. And if he does get spotted, then he might attract some fire. We're going in as fast as we can. No sixth sense yet. Oh! There's the P43, and I just saw the tracer from enemy Arty to our left. So I think he's somewhere to the left. There he is. That is Radley's. And now it's just down to killing the P43 Biz. We've got 10 seconds to do it. And he's got too many hit points. We can't take him out with one shot. It's going to take two. And this game is over. Oh dear. Well, that was an incredibly good game by Alephus in the Giro. He did his best. He got a first ace tanker in his Giro in that game. You can tell it's the first one because he's got the scrolls underneath. You only get that the first time, so it's definitely his first one. You also got a Reaper badge for taking out consecutive tanks with consecutive shots, as well as a fire effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. Master Gunner for getting 5 armor penetrating shots in a row. A Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12. And then he got the Epic medals as well. He picked up a Radley Waters medal for killing 8 tanks. He earned that one when he took out the AMX-13 F3. He was hiding amongst those bushes. It's a miracle that he didn't spot us when we were crossing the Dragon's Teeth and tried to fire at us then. But he actually aimed his shot at the SU-8, I think, who was coming up from the south. And I guess the P43 saw him, started firing in his direction, and that gave away his position, and Alephus could see where he was. Unfortunately, Alephus was not going to get the kill on that P43 Biz, so sadly, he couldn't get any more to win the game. A Pascucci's medal for killing both enemy SPGs. The enemy SU-8 did try to make a move towards our cap. Unfortunately, as fast as he is, he didn't have the support of his teammate in the other AMX-13 F3. That would have been actually quite useful if he had, because they both could have made their way towards our cap, and potentially they might have been able to get there in time to start capping. There was a high caliber as well for dealing the most damage in the game, and a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. And look at this win 8. 22,781, which is Super Unicum standard, and a lot more. Let's have a look at the team score for this game. The highest damage was 4,505 hit points for Alephus. That's a very good score indeed. The next highest player, only almost a third. Not quite a third, but it's almost a third. Well, it's more than a third, actually. But it was the T78. He got 1,599. And the other player was the KV2 with 1,484. So incredibly good to get that much damage compared to the others. When it came to kills, Alephus got that one too. 8 kills to him, 3 kills to the P43 Biz, and 2 kills to the KV2, the M6, the SU-8 on the enemy team, their AMX-13 F3, and their Cromwell. And when it came to base XP, there's only one player who managed to get over 1,000. That was Alephus. He got such a high score, even though it was a drawn game. He got the bonus, and 1,002 base. Very, very well done indeed. The next highest scorer was the T78 on the enemy team that he took out. He got 576. And then after that, it was the KV2 with 503. So he's got the top in all 3 columns in that game. He fired 26 rounds, got 20 direct hits, and 18 penetrations. I think the only thing that let him down was that this gun, if you move it just slightly when you're aiming, the shell won't go exactly where you want it to go, and therefore he wasn't getting direct hits where he should have had them. 20 direct hits, 18 penetrations, damage of 4,505 hit points of damage, of which 2,879 were at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits from the enemy. One was penetration, one was a non-penetration. Both of them came from the T78 on the enemy team. T78 hit him in the tracks, and the second shot did actual damage, but by that time, the T78 was out the game. 2 enemy vehicles were spotted, 10 enemy vehicles were engaged, so he was on line for a Pulse Medal if there was enough enemies left and he could convert them, and he actually got 8 of them in the end. On a free-to-play account, he actually earned 37,652 credits for the battle, 30,000 for completing a mission, 3,132 for courageous resistance. That's for getting a medal in a losing or drawn game. That totaled 70,784 credits altogether. And even though he did use premium ammo, he still came out ahead with 32,501 credits profit. He got 1,002 base XP, 566 for courageous resistance. That's to match the score of a winning team if he'd actually won the game. and 1,568 experience points altogether. It was a very good performance. It shows other players this is how you can play the Giro. You play it from a distance, but you have the ability to take on the enemy and take them out with that big 105mm gun. But I guess the only problem is it's rather slow. It's only 40 kilometers an hour. It's not that quick. And so you have to take that into account if you're having to move on the enemy area and take them out that way. So well done to Alephus getting your first ace tanker. Congratulations for doing that. I commiserate with you that you didn't get a win, but boy, did you have a great game. That was an absolutely fantastic game to play, and lovely to see you getting a Radley Waters out of that. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Please leave a comment down below, because it feeds the algorithm, gets these videos noticed by more people. And thank you for watching.